I'm Crystal Thurman with WSCS News QuickCast. Orangeburg Department of Public Safety is still looking for a gunman who shot and injured one man at the Prince of Orange Mall over the Thanksgiving holiday weekend. The incident happened in the mall parking lot between Belt and Its Fashion. Here's more on that story.
My name is Kayla Dobson, and I am a student here at South Carolina State University. What I know about the shooting that happened at the Orangeburg Mall is that one person was injured and there are two suspects that both got away. There are two suspects that both got away. And I feel, as a member of this community, I don't feel safe knowing that the two suspects were so easily able to get away because the mall was on lockdown, so there was no way possible that it should have been able to leave. And you always hear about things like this on the news, but you never expect it to hit so close to home.
My name is Jamal Burgess. I've been living in Orangeburg for the past 3 years. With the little incident about the shooting in the mall this past Saturday, it made me feel somewhat unsafe, feel like, where's the security, where's the police officer? They still have the suspect, they still on the loose. It made me feel like, I can't even go outside just to walk without knowing that these people still on the loose.
I'm Aisha Jameson.
I'm Brianna Jackson.
And I'm from Orangeburg.
So am I.
And the shooting happened on Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay, so on Saturday there was a shooting at the mall. Thankfully nobody was severely injured or died. But just being from Orangeburg, it's very infuriating that this stuff can happen and the suspects are still at large. So
it's really sad that, stuff like this happens in the community. But everybody just, come used to it because it happens so often.
If you have more information on this incident, you should call Crime Stoppers at 1-888-CRIME-SC. It's being called a domestic dispute gone wrong. The argument started in the parking lot of the Mercy Hospital in Chicago. That's when June Lopez shot his former fiancée, Dr. Tamara O'Neill. After leaving the parking lot, he walked inside of the hospital and shot at least 2 other people, including a Chicago police officer. Eventually, responding officers shot and killed Lopez before he could harm any more people in the hospital. WSCS News reporter Brooke Brady has more details on this report.
This is Brooke Brady reporting live in Oak Lawn. Yesterday, there was a deadly shooting that took place in Chicago at the Mercy Hospital around 3:30 p.m. It left 4 dead, including the gunman. An officer was also killed during the shooting. The shooting involved a man and his ex-fiancée. This is a case of domestic violence. According to ABC 7 News, Tamara O'Neill called off her engagement to the shooter back in September. I spoke with Brenna Brady, a woman that works for the state of Illinois in the DCFS department, about the tragedy.
I read that there was a history of domestic violence between this couple, but even if I hadn't known that, I definitely would have thought that a person doesn't just resort to this type of violence because someone is breaking up with them without there having been red flags of domestic violence prior to this incident. Statistics do show that when women attempt to leave domestic violence relationships, that is one of the most deadliest and fearful times for them, because it does increase the likelihood that the perpetrator of domestic violence will try to attack them or hurt them because they know that they're leaving the relationship. I do know that she was an ER doctor, so I know that would have been difficult, but if she thought that he would have done something like this, I'm sure that would have been worth it. There are domestic violence shelters throughout Illinois that where their address is anonymous and no one can find them except, the victims. So she could have done those things. There is help out there. There's the Illinois Domestic Violence Hotline, which would offer resources to women who are victims of domestic violence, such as counseling. I also would just tell women to recognize the flags of domestic violence relationship early on, because sometimes when you get too deep into it, it becomes more and more dangerous to get out.
People in the community continue to mourn the officer and the 2 young women. If you or anybody else is involved in a domestic violence issue, please call the Domestic Violence Hotline.
Thanks for the report, Brooke. In other news, the rapper known as Tekashi 69 is facing racketeering and gun charges for allegedly participating in a gun shooting and robbery incident earlier this year. According to Manhattan Federal Court, the Brooklyn rapper, whose legal name is Daniel Hernandez, is said to be a part of a street gang known as Nine Trey Gangster Bloods. WSCS News reporter Teen Beacon has reactions from the fans.
Hello, my name is Tion Bakodi, senior business management major with a minor in mass communications from Harlem, New York. Today I will be reporting on Brooklyn, New York rapper Tekashi 69, who has been indicted on racketeering and conspiracy charges with the Nine Trey Bloods. I interviewed Ace Bakodi, my cousin, on the situation. Check it out here.
Hello, how you doing? Can you tell us your name, where you're from?
Ace Bakodi, Harlem, New York.
How you doing, Ace?
I'm doing well.
Have you heard of rapper Tekashi 69?
Yes, I have.
Okay, do you listen to some of his music?
I listen to some.
Will you consider yourself a fan?
No.
You won't. Okay, so you know his music promotes messages of violence, killing, robbing people. Do you agree with the message in his music?
I don't actually agree with the message.
Okay, so today he's been charged with racketeering charges and also gang conspiracy charges with the Nine Trey Bloods. My question for you is, do you feel that 6ix9ine has been targeted out because of his fame and notoriety, or just this case has been pending and they just decided to go after 6ix9ine now?
I feel like it might be a little bit of both, because he skated on a case that really he should have got charged with, but the fact that he's so popular, it made him a big target. So I feel like it's a little bit of both, not just one or the other.
All right, thanks for that response.
No problem.
As you can see, rapper Tekashi 69 has gotten himself into a world of trouble. We are still waiting on further information on his pending charges, but for now, we know that the rapper is placed in general population in one of the city's most brutal prisons. We will keep you up to date with 6ix9ine's status. I'm Tion
Coming to
Bakodi.
the end of the semester leads to stress.
With final exams coming up soon, the ladies of Truth Hall on the SC State campus held a sip and paint session. WSCS reporter Destiny Brown takes us there in this report.
Unwanted anxiety and a lot of college students stressing about their grades. A group of girls in Truth Hall decided to host a sip and paint for their fellow peers in their residency hall.
I heard other girls in the hall talking about how finals were stressful for them and was really kicking their behinds. And we created the Simple Paint to relieve stress and just bring each other together and give each other encouraging words on finals.
So I had extremely amount of fun at the Sip and Paint. You know, it empowered women, and it talked about how the next person beside us can command the room just as much as you can. And, you know, it basically just, it was a big stress reliever to everything that's finna happen the next few weeks. And, you know, getting ready for finals, it took a huge weight off my shoulder.
There you have it. A lot of girls felt as though this event relieved a whole lot of stress, and it impacted them in ways that it could. So, Bulldogs, find your stress reliever and do that. Good luck on finals.
Finally, some good news. Well, it depends on if you're a fan of the Baltimore Ravens. WSCS News reporter Jamasia Crowder attended the Ravens and Cincinnati Bengals matchup in Baltimore. She captured the fan excitement as the Ravens won 24-21.
Hey, hey, that's so lit, bro. That's so lit. That's the block, man. That's going to receive. That was close. Get him, get him, get him, get him. Oh, man.
Jackson for his first game, and they did a hell of a job. Great game! The Ravens did a great job in the second half, definitely. The second half was definitely, it was great.
I'm Crystal Thurman, and this is WSCS News QuickCast. Thank you for tuning in. See you next time.